Mother says this mold inside her apartment is making her and her toddler sick. She tells Action News Jackson management at the Links at Windsor Park dragging its feet on fixing it. Only Action News Jack's Beth Rousseau is pushing them for answers about the apartment.
Shamika Rubin says that she replaced the faucets in her bathrooms in September when she moved in. She noticed a little bit of mold then, but it wasn't until months later that she discovered all this under her sink.
And when I seen it, that's when I discovered it and I started instantly throwing up.
Shamika Rubin says this mold hiding under her sink at the Links at Windsor Park has been making her and her daughter sick since she moved in September.
When I took everything from under my sink, I discovered all the black.
Rubin says her girlfriend forwarded the picture to management on May 2nd, threatening to withhold rent. They sent this response saying there had been no previous work orders.
They came and they cut the back part of my wall. They put garbage bags and duct tape.
When they sent these pictures, management sent a text agreeing to put them in a hotel through Monday. Rubin says when she returned, everything looked the same.
I pay so much for rent, and I have my child. She's been here most majority of the time, and she had been sick.
Hoping we could talk to someone about some mold in Shamika Rubin's apartment.
Okay.
Yeah. Just want to know what's being done to take care of it, that sort of thing.
All right, give me one moment.
Management asked us to leave and said any issue is being handled. They refused to give a number to call for corporate, so I left a business card, which they agreed to pass along. Rubin says at this point she just wants out of her lease. Reporting off Hodges Boulevard, Beth Russo, CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jack.
A Lafayette mother and two children are speaking out, of two children rather. She is speaking out after claims the Himbola apartment's long-term mold and water leak issues are not getting resolved. News 10's Rodrika Taylor looked into the problem. She spoke with tenants who are all saying enough is enough.
The tenants I spoke with say they have been dealing with these issues of mold and water leaks for years, and they're tired of it. They say even after reporting these issues to the complex manager, nothing has been done.
I'm dealing with mold and water leaking from my ceiling in my bathroom as well as my hallway and the closet in my bedroom.
Brandy Prejean says she has lived at the Himbola Manor apartments for 3 years with two children, ages 6 and 11 years old.
They come and they kind of look at it, but they only put a Band-Aid on it. There's never any professionals, plumbers, electricians, or anything who actually come out and get the job done, where I don't have to continue reporting over and over.
She says the conditions she is living in has her worried for her and her children's health.
We haven't visited a hospital or anything, but that's in the making.
Warrenika Goodman, who says she has been living there for 8 years, shares she is dealing with the same thing as Prejean.
I would hope that everything would get fixed, but they just would need to have more communication with the tenants here and working on maintenance as it needs to be required and not giving us excuses after excuses.
I believe wholeheartedly nobody should have to live this way just because of their financial situation. A lot of people use this to actually get out of where we actually are, and the conditions make that kind of hard to be able to do that.
I sent an email to the registered agent of the apartment complex and haven't received a response yet. In Lafayette, Rodrika Taylor, KLFY News 10.
And good evening now. We begin tonight here in Columbia as a family searching for help. They had to move out of their apartment that's covered in black mold. They say they reached out to their property manager many times for help, but no one answered for days. Here's Julia Kaufman.
I just had to pick up and leave. My mother's 81 years old. We can't breathe in. I'm asthmatic. We can't breathe in.
Lisa Harrison and her mom Pearl live in the square at Forest Acres. She says they've been dealing with a leak in one of their bathrooms for months.
Maintenance would come and fix it, and then the leak would come back. And that's sort of what it's been for at least 6 months. This last time, her bathroom flooded, the master bathroom flooded, and the water started going into the master bedroom.
That's when maintenance found black mold throughout their apartment. Harrison says they called the on-site manager several times but got no answer that day, so they checked into a hotel.
We're living with a friend. And I mean, we could not afford the hotel we stayed in, but we had to go into debt.
News 19 reached out to First Communities, the property management company for the square. They say they've now removed the mold and repaired the leak. They go on to say, quote, "We have been timely with our repairs and have offered to professionally clean items that may have residual damage. We always go to great lengths to remedy these serious maintenance issues, and while doing so, keeping a keen eye on our residents' best interest." But Harrison disagrees. She says she isn't happy with the response she got from the group, and now they're unsure of where to live.
This just isn't right, and I just want people to do what they're supposed to do.
Since News 19 reached out to First Communities, Harrison says they've contacted her to try to remedy the situation. In Forest Acres, Julia Kaufman, News 19, WLTX.
The apartments here at the mill at Saco Falls, situated right on the Saco River. It's not that old of a building. At least one of the tenants says she's getting sick, and she's blaming it on mold.
It's growing here on the shelf.
Sarah Barrett points to yellow gunk in her cabinets, on the walls, even on a jar of lotion. Black spots behind her couch. She's convinced it's mold.
I spoke to someone and they said that wet, sticky mold is actively growing mold. And it comes in different colors. Something yellow, golden brown doesn't just grow everywhere in a building with a moisture problem if it's not mold.
She says she complained to the previous management company back in 2011. The company says it conducted air quality tests and they came back negative for mold. The current management company, Saco Falls Management, met with Barrett today to address her concerns.
I've been really, really sick, and so have my kids. And my doctor, the one that gave me my recent doctor's note, told me, "Sarah, I think you have mold."
Barrett says she's had a sinus infection for 4 months, and her 8-year-old son has developed asthma, and she wants to get to the bottom of whatever is growing in her apartment.
It's spreading all over our belongings. We know what the black and the brown is. The golden stuff is questionable. That's growing everywhere in the building and in my unit. So I believe it's probably mold. But I'm not an expert, so yeah, I would definitely like it tested.
Nobody wants mold in their building. We don't want mold here. That's why we're doing the testing, so that we can determine what it is and how to deal with it. Again, we've had no reported complaints other than her, so we're testing this area specifically.
The property manager tells us that the mold test results won't be in for at least a couple of days, and we'll keep you posted. In Biddeford, Jim Keithley, WMTW News 8.
Look at all the mold covering the walls in a Triad man's apartment. A small water leak created the big problem.
Maintenance didn't do much about it. After several months with mold and no fix, he turned to 2 Wants to Know's Kevin Kennedy.
Cesar Martinez had just moved into his new apartment when faced with the problem.
I can smell it.
There was a water leak in the unit above. You can see it outside.
I guess they busted the water pipe and never came back out. As you can see, it's just water is leaking out. It's been like this for like a couple of months by now.
The inside of the apartment is even worse. Mold covers several walls.
And the water, it started getting wet down here. This rug started getting wet. Once I started vacuuming, that's when I seen the water just start coming up. I'm like, why is there water right here?
Cesar initially complaining about the leak outside. Maintenance cutting a hole in the wall above his door to inspect, but that appears to be it.
My case is like, there's a hole in mine. I didn't pay for this, so come and fix it.
The issue getting worse. Cesar again complaining several weeks would pass.
Y'all went in, but y'all didn't see that, or fix any of that.
Cesar forced to sleep elsewhere. The smell overwhelming.
Come and just look at it. That's all I ask. So, as you see, they've never been down here at all.
Almost 3 months of this enough. Cesar moving everything out. The problem and mold still there.
Never came, never looked. They'll put a note there, here and there, and leave.
His mom reaching out to us for assistance. We emailed the complex, told it was recently purchased, and the old management company dropped the ball. A refund offer.
I don't even want to mess with them, all that. I'm just living right now.
Cesar now lives at a new apartment complex. The refund check for more than $2,000 helping with that.
I want to say thank you to Kevin from 2 Wants to Know. Without him coming in play, I would have never got the situation handled properly.
If you live in an apartment and there's a problem, document it. Take pictures and make sure all complaints are put in writing. It will make it easier if you end up calling us or going to court. Kevin Kennedy, 2 Wants to Know.
New tonight at 10, a Baldwin County woman is pleading for help tonight after she claims management at her Loxley apartment complex has yet to fix the black mold that has been growing inside her home for years.
NBC 15's Corey Pippen is live tonight in Loxley. Corey, you spoke to the woman about this scary situation.
Well, Kim, Greg, I did. The woman tells me she reached out to the management at her apartment complex for help removing the mold, but so far nothing has been done. Now she tells me she's worried what impact it's having on her health.
Just feel it's not safe and it's not good to breathe in. I just want things just to be better for me and my family that's living here.
Black mold growing up walls, near doors, and spreading into corners. Also visible through holes under the sink and behind the refrigerator. These are the living conditions of one woman in phase 1 of the Loxley Apartments on Shambo Court. She didn't want to be identified, but says she has reported the problem to management and the health department. Yet it's been this way for a long time.
2 or 3 years now, and the doors won't open either. Somebody told me in June that they was going to come and fix it, but it's never been fixed yet. And I just want it to be fixed. We don't want to get sick.
We were also shown paint peeling off the ceiling and water damage near a vent, where just recently, the woman says, a leak upstairs seeped through, pouring into her apartment. She says management did repair that issue, but now she's worried about mold growing from that too. People exposed to mold can have prolonged coughing, sneezing, and nasal congestion. Folks with respiratory issues could experience shortness of breath and chest tightness.
I just want me and my family to be all right. Just please get it fixed. We need it fixed, and I appreciate it if you get it fixed as soon as possible.
Now, I spoke with a manager with Loxley Apartments over the phone today. She tells me she was not aware of any complaints filed by the woman, but did tell me she would go by the woman's apartment tomorrow morning with the crew to see if that black mold can be repaired. Reporting live in Loxley tonight, I'm Corey Pippen, NBC 15 News.